Hey guys, Morgan's Manus. Today's video is going to be a tool haul video. That's where I share several different items all in one video because I don't feel like any of these make a good video by themselves. And this one's going to be a little bit different than even my previous ones because these are all going to be new tools. I haven't even got them out of the package yet, so I'm going to be looking at them brand new with you to see if my expectations were met as far as why I bought them. I'm going to share with you why I bought them, where I bought them, how much they cost, those kinds of things like that. I got stuff from Diamondback, Milwaukee, Klein, Vessel, and Jersey Discount Tool Company. I'm going to share them with you just in case they might be something that you're looking for, but let's go ahead and jump right into these tools. So we'll start out with something from Jersey Discount Tool Company. I bought from them a few times, really great service. I like buying things from them. But I basically bought this because they've got a mystery envelope that I ordered. I'm still waiting on that. I'll probably open that on the channel as well to see if I want anything or what comes in the envelope. But I have been wanting these for some time. This is the Jersey Discount Tool Company spring thing is what it's called. So it's basically a spring tool set. More than anything, I wanted this holder right here because it really comes with two things that I'm not, mad about getting because I don't have spring tools with these. So this is more like a center punch. And then this one here is more like a little chisel. So those are both good tools to have. I didn't have these, so I'll add those probably into my toolbox. But I also normally run like a hinge pin. I was wanting to see if they would fit in these because I mostly want this holder. I wish Jersey Discount Tool Company just sold these holders. And then I've got my spring tool for my nail set. I got to get me a new one of these because this fell out of my pouch one day whenever I got home out of my truck and I found it in my driveway. It's got a little bit of rust on it. But I was mostly wanting to see if they would both fit in there, and they're the exact same size. So I'm going to use these for my nail sets and stuff like that. So I mostly wanted this, but again, these aren't bad to get either. So for 22 bucks, it's not a bad deal. The fact that you get this little holder along with a center punch and a chisel, maybe those are two things that you use more often than the hinge pin and the nail set. If that's the case, it's a really good deal for you. Again, I wish they kind of sold these holders, but that's one of the first things that I recently picked up. Next up on the list is a pouch from Diamondback Tools. So I recently had the DB Sacks. I've had this for quite some time. I think maybe I have a video comparing this to the Holstery Joey pouches, which I much prefer. Like, I definitely like the Joey pouches better than these. These are a little bit cheaper, but they're definitely just not the same. They do kind of close up like a Joey pouch, but they're a lot more floppy and stuff like that. But they are good if you want to buy several of them to put specific fasteners in, just leave them in it and then clip them onto your bag. Well, I've been kind of wanting to try the mini sacks because that's one thing I don't like about this one. I feel like it's really almost too big. I can put way too much stuff in there. I got to dig down the bottom. So they had this one on sale on Prime Day for 20 bucks, and then I ended up getting a percentage off. I think I ended up getting this one for $16. So that's the main reason why I picked it up, was because it was on sale. So again, it's got a belt clip over here. It's got the closure mechanism, so you can close it up if you want to. If you got some fasteners in there and you want to close that up, although it doesn't really feel like that's closing up all the way. Let me see if I'm not pulling on it hard enough or something. Yeah, you can eventually get it kind of closed up. It doesn't close up, again, the same as the Joey pouches, in my opinion. But I bought this one for a specific use. I'm not even going to use this for fasteners. It's a little bit tight. If you're going to put fasteners in there, you're going to always be digging, which would be fine if it's full. But if you're going to go all the way down the bottom, it's going to be a little bit tight to get that out. So I was actually looking for a small pouch like this to keep my chalk box in, or my chalk line in, so that I can just put that in there. And then I don't have to worry about the inside of it, getting chalk all over something else in my tool pouch or something like that. So essentially I can just clip this onto my vest, run it with my chalk line in there, and just leave that in there. And I can even close this up to keep it from falling out in my truck or something like that too. So basically fits that little chalk line pretty much perfect. This one is the Tajima, for reference, CR201R, in case you want to kind of figure out the size. But I think most of your standard size ones would fit in there. But again, you might want to use it for fasteners or something else. I mostly bought it because it was 16 bucks. And then I was also looking for a pouch for my chalk line as well. So that's why I picked it up here recently. Next up is a pair of pump pliers from Klein Tools. These are the quick adjust claw pump pliers. Part number is D5057B. The B means button. They have a D5057 that doesn't have the button. It's kind of like the alligator style. So you can see the orange handles here. These are made in China from Klein, but these are essentially like a pair of Knipex Cobras. A buddy of mine, actually, he was looking for a 7-inch pair of the Kleins. He was kind of wanting a pair, and I told him they were available on Amazon, and he picked himself up some and then gave me these. So I didn't buy these. Buddy gave them to me, so I'm not bargaining pay promotion because it wasn't given to me by a company or anything like that. So we'll get these out, kind of see what they look like in comparison. So it has that V-jaw design, maximum grip and torque. Here's the back of the package if you want to zoom in and check out any of that kind of stuff. Multiple points of contact, hardened teeth to reduce wear, all those kinds of things, push button. So here is the Knipex Cobras as far as the 7 1/4 size that I run all the time. Big difference I can see is kind of like those adjustments right there. Seems like that's a whole lot bigger as far as between those grooves than what it is over here. So I don't know that you got as micro of an adjustment. So let me move down. So right here I'm on an adjustment. We'll move down one more. Move down one more over here. I don't know if I moved one on the Knipex. Let's see, move down. I think I'm moving two. Yeah, so I think you get way more adjustment. So there is a notch on the Knipex, and then there's the notch on the Klein. Although, you know, a lot of times those very minute things, because you have the ability to do this, not a big deal. These are going to run you, I think, $22 or something along those lines on Amazon, versus these are usually in that $36 range. So a little bit cheaper. The grips are slick dipped versus on the Knipex on these, it's got that textured red grip as well. But ultimately, I feel like they're probably going to work out just fine. One may last longer than the other, but again, definitely the Knipex has a little bit more adjustment, but the price difference is where it's at. Look at the teeth. My Knipex teeth are a little dirty, but you do have some teeth on the Klein right in here in this little area, whereas on the Knipex, that little area right there is kind of smooth as well. Here's the bottom side. And again, I haven't used these at all. I just got them out of the package. You saw me get them out. So the Klein have teeth on 100% of the surface of theirs, whereas Knipex has a couple little smooth spots on theirs as well, which the Klein is marketed towards not just, you know, hex stuff, but also round stuff, which obviously you can do with the Knipex as well. But again, it's got teeth everywhere. The adjustments are a little bit bigger, so I think you get a little bit more adjustment on the Knipex. As far as form and feel, that's pretty smooth right there. Let's see, compared to the Knipex, that's really smooth right there. I think you're going to like either one of them. It's just a matter of, this is one of those where if you got the money, sure, buy the Knipex. If you're starting out and you're on a budget, these are pretty good. I feel the same way about the Klein Tools pliers wrench as well. I ran that for probably 6 or 8 months in my bag, had zero problems with it. It worked just as well, in my opinion, as the Knipex. But again, there's the Klein Tools D5057B, something else that I recently picked up. Up next is a Milwaukee framing square. I absolutely love this one right here. I've got two of these. I keep one in my garage and then one in my truck. This one is a 16 by 24. So I was walking through Home Depot and this one caught my eye. I think it's fairly new, or at least I've missed it, one of the two. But this one is the MLS Q812, 812 meaning 8 by 12, as far as it is 8 inches this way, 12 inches this way. There's some of the features on it on that right there, and then you can also see made in the USA as well. I'm gonna go ahead and get the stickers off of it, and then I'll show you all the features that are kind of on it. And by the way, taking these stickers off of this are super easy. I always like it when companies don't make this be a nightmare. I mean, that's great right there. But again, it is a 8 by 12. You can see 8 inches on the outside out here, 12 inches on the outside here. It has your 6 inches on the inside, and then 10.5 on the inside here. You've got 8ths, you got 16ths, 8ths, and 16ths. You have scribe lines at every 1/8 inch right here, and then it also has notches for kind of your standard framing. You got 1.5 inches, 3.5, 5.5 for a 2x6, 7 1/4 for a 2x8, 9 1/4 for a 2x10. And then you also have those same kind of markings up here for your standard lumber. Also, the thing I like about this more than anything, and that's why I've really loved this one, that's why I bought this one as soon as I saw it, it is nice and thick. Like, it's definitely a heavy 1/8 if it's an 1/8 inch. But that's what I really liked about this one. And then not just because it's Milwaukee, you know, I do like Milwaukee tools, but the red on the white, I can really see everything super well. That's what I really like about it also. So this up here is 1.5 inches. So if you're doing layout, you can pretty much mark both sides of the stud with this, because you can see the 3/4 in the middle there. This side over here is 2 inches with a 1 inch center part right there. But again, more than anything, it's the size of it. I decided to pick this up because sometimes this one's just a little bit too big for what I need. And then again, it's the fact that I've had good success with this one. I like everything about it. So I thought I'd go ahead and try this one out as well. But it's new, and maybe you didn't know it was out there, and maybe you'd like to have one too. But it's something that I recently picked up this week. Last but not least, or I guess they might be the least, they might be the smallest item, are some bit holders from Vessel. So you can kind of think like these style bit holders that they sell on Amazon, where you take your bits, put them in there, you hang them on your bag, put them on your keychain, whatever it is you want to do with that. Well, this is essentially Vessel's version, the ball grip carrying bit holder. Part number on these are QB22RU. They have multiple colors and options and things like that. I've been wanting to try them for some time because I'm a big Vessel ball handle fan, but they're pretty expensive. Sometimes like a 2-pack's $15, or you might find one for $8, $9, $10. Well, I found this 10-pack, and they so happen to be red and black, which is, you know, what my bag is and everything else, for $39, so $3.90 are what they came out to. Now, do I need 10 of them? Probably not, so there might be a giveaway in the future of a few of these on the live. But I wanted to go ahead and try them out. I guess I'll show you the back of the package just in case. Here's how you put the bits in, how you take the bits out. And then also, let's see, made in China, you can see right there. One thing that I like about these in comparison to the ones I just showed you, I have to pull these back and forth no matter if I'm putting a bit in or out, versus the Vessel. You can just take a bit and just slide it right in there, and then that locks it into place. Now, with the regular US style bits, there is quite a bit of play. You can kind of see that right there, but it's still locked in there. It's not going to come out if you're using it as a just, you know, bit holder. Now, if you want to use this as a small screwdriver, that might end up becoming something that would be something that gets on your nerves, because I think this is kind of set up the same as my Vessel USB. So again, to take these out, you're going to pull back on that, slide that out. But if I take like one of the Japanese style, you know, ends right there and slide that in, which actually you don't have to pull back on that, slide that in, that's super tight, you know, no play in that whatsoever. So it is geared towards using these style bits right here. I think that's that 13 millimeter as far as right there. But again, for bit holding purposes, you can pretty much use any bit you want, but you may get a little bit of rattle. So just take that in consideration. Then even if you want to take a smaller bit and make it a stubby, you can do that right there. So that's a very small screwdriver. If you've got that on your bag holding a bit anyways, maybe you need to reach in somewhere and get a hold of something, that might end up working out well for you. So again, I mostly picked these up because I've been curious about them. Didn't have any. They're from Vessel. They're the ball handles. That's my favorite screwdrivers at the moment as far as my dedicated ones. They were red and black. Basically, I just wanted to try them out. So that's why I picked these up here recently. But there you go, guys. There is my most recent mini tool haul, I guess, and 100% new tools. You saw me open the package. Again, I'm not reviewing any of these. I have no idea if any of them are going to hold up, so I know I'll probably get some questions on these Klein Cobra style pliers right here. I haven't used them, so I couldn't tell you. I just feel like if you like slick dip grips, or if you want to save a little bit of money, you might be 100% new getting into the field and you need to save a little money because you're spreading out over a bunch of tools that you're having to buy. If you want to save 15 bucks or so, they're probably going to work out just fine. Again, the DB Sacks right there. Maybe you're somebody out there that's looking for something to hold your chop box. I feel like that's going to work out pretty good for that as well. But let me know in the comments below if you've got any of these, if you've been using them, what you think about them, or if any of these are something that you didn't know was out there, but you think that they would be useful and you're going to pick them up. Let me know that as well. But as always, I hope this video was interesting. You guys stay safe. Have a blessed day. I'll see you in the next video.